Good evening and welcome to tonight's bedtime story. Today we'll explore the story of what made Charlemagne's pivotal decision. Find a comfortable position and let yourself relax. Let this story carry you through a peaceful night. Ready? Let's begin. Charlemagne's destiny was both a luminous crown and a crushing weight. Amidst the grandeur of the royal court, young Charlemagne sat encircled by flickering candlelight, a witness to whispered schemes and the profound expectations of a future emperor. The scents of beeswax wafted through the air, mingling with the quiet intimacy of ancient stone walls. Leather-bound chronicles lined the shelves, holding testimonies of past glories and burdens yet to be assumed. His eyes, illuminated by the dancing flames, mirrored both the grandeur and the uncertainty of his fate. The continuous hum of the courtiers, each whisper a thread in the intricate tapestry of ambition and fear, underscored his own deliberations. At the heart of it was his relationship with his brother, Charlemagne, a complicated alliance interwoven with the politics of inheritance and duty. The legacy of his father, Pepin the Short, lay heavily on Charlemagne's shoulders, a testament to both potential and responsibility. As the rain softly drummed against the castle, the young prince found solace in its rhythm, a gentle reminder of constancy amid shifting power dynamics. Torn between courage and doubt, Charlemagne was poised on the brink of an unknown journey, tasked with envisioning himself as a future empire's architect. In the room resonant with history, Charlemagne navigated through his maze of thoughts, the tapestry of his future slowly unfurling. With each flicker of the candle and the gentle chords of a distant organ, his determination sparked like a nascent star, tentatively illuminating the path yet to come. The regal setting wrapped him in a fleeting peace, hinting at a monumental story waiting to be crafted through the strength of his will and the inexorable passage of time. The great hall of Charlemagne's court was a living tapestry woven from the threads of power, lineage, and ambition. The stone walls loomed high, creating an echo that amplified the whispers of stratagems. The air was thick with the scent of beeswax from the numerous candles that flickered unevenly, casting a dance of shadows upon those hallowed gray stones. Those shadows, like specters of Charlemagne's innermost doubts, mirrored the complexities whispering within his thoughts. Charlemagne sat upon his carved wooden throne, its grandeur accentuated by the richness of the velvet draped across its arms. His eyes, sharp and piercing beneath a heavy brow, surveyed the room, lingering for a fraction longer on the known faces of his kin. The hushed conversation among the courtiers flowed like a river, each current weaving towards a central undertone of competition and familial tension. It was a daunting symphony, with each note demanding recognition and response. The aroma of freshly ground spices wafted subtly through the air, mingling with the underlying mustiness of old stone, as favored pages bustled about, carrying not only trays laden with refreshment, but also snippets of clandestine conversations. Each cup of potent, spiced wine offered might well harbor secrets, confessions sipped away before their consequences could unfurl. The flickering candlelight darted across Charlemagne's face, highlighting the furrows that etched deeper each year, a carved testament to the burdens he shouldered. Within him raged a silent battle of weariness and hope. The hall brimmed with the presence of his family, brothers, nephews, and sons, all tethered by blood, yet pulled apart by the gravitas of succession and power. Each brother's face, stern yet undeniably expressive, held its own story, a tale of loyalty-strained, once-trusted alliances, now tainted by jealousy and ambition. His brother Charlemagne, standing at the edge of the gathering, bore an inscrutable expression, a mask hiding either disdain or understanding, or perhaps both. That very mask pulled at Charlemagne's patience and reflections, tugging him toward memories of simpler, youthful days, when shared laughter did not result in political stratagems. As the courtly din ebbed and swelled, Charlemagne fell into an introspective void. His internal debates beckoned him toward visions of a unified realm, a sovereign legacy, beyond the gilded allure of crowns and courts. His was an aspiration for a kingdom stitched together through a durable peace, not merely enforced through might and decree, but through the profound unity of shared purpose. Yet, each step on this path was fraught with delicate balances and imminent threats, the pathway weighed down by the potential for betrayal as much as the promise of greatness. He breathed deeply, The air stirring a faint scent of lavender and exotic important allowed its soothing fragrance to temper the edge of his tension slightly. As he sat there, Charlemagne felt a mix of stoic resolve and quiet melancholy. Each decision, each act of governance, rippled like stone-cast circles in a pond, affecting not only himself but reverberating through time to touch future generations. In that moment, under the hall's shadow-soaked embrace, Charlemagne felt a resolute certainty kindle anew within him. Despite the relentless pull of familial tides and the shadows of doubt that pursued him, he was determined to carve a clear path forward, an illuminated channel, through which he would steer his realm to durably transcend the ambitions and animosities around him. The flickering candlelight seemed to nod in agreement, a silent witness to his unwavering intent to guide and unite, casting an enduring light upon his vision for the realm's fate. The moon hung low in the sky, casting a silvery glow through the high-arched windows of Aachen's palace hall. Shadows danced along the stone walls as the last candle stubbornly clung to life, before reluctantly succumbing to the all-enveloping darkness. Charlemagne stood alone, an imposing figure clad in a robe of deep crimson, accentuated by the golden flecks of his crown, which caught the waning light. The cool night air slipped into the room, carrying the distant aroma of pine from the surrounding forests, a stark contrast to the smoldering scent of extinguished wicks that clung heavily to the atmosphere. As the darkness pooled around him, Charlemagne felt the weight of countless expectations settle on his shoulders, as tangible as the armor he had worn into countless battles. These were no longer theoretical lessons or the idle musings of an unattached prince. They were now the raw realities of a ruler, requiring decisions that could shape or shatter realms. His gaze drifted to the luminescent skies, searching for solace among the stars that twinkled like ancient sentinels, each one a reminder that history would judge him, just as it had judged those who came before. The low murmur of voices filtered through the heavy wooden doors of the chambers nearby, the courtiers' conversations laced with a mixture of respect and speculation. They were hushed tones, filled with anticipation of what his reign might bring. Charlemagne knew those voices well. They were the same ones that had praised his father, Pepin the Short, and those that had doubted him. Each murmur was a thread in the complex tapestry of court life, vibrant and ugly, with whispers of loyalty and treachery often interwoven. In moments of solitude such as this, Charlemagne's mind would drift back to his childhood, the echoes of his father's lessons resonating within him. Pepin had always stressed the ironclad tenets of unity and strength, a kingdom's greatest assets and its most fragile facets. These teachings now served as a double-edged sword, guiding Charlemagne as he contemplated the chasm between ideal and realpolitik. Surrounded by the filigree of his father's achievements, Charlemagne felt a resolve harden within him, like the steel of a well-tempered blade. Yet, despite the palpable pressure and the solitary path laid before him, Charlemagne felt a stirring within his chest, a flicker of hope, reminiscent of a hearth's glow amidst a winter's storm. This hope was anchored in a vision, a unified Frankish realm, resilient against the winds of factionalism and external enemies lurking at its borders. The enormity of this dream threatened to overwhelm him at times, filling the caverns of his consciousness with swirling maelstroms of doubt. But it was this vision that also emboldened him, providing silent assurance amidst the cacophony of doubts whispered in dimly lit corridors. The air grew still, pregnant with unspoken challenges and possibilities. Charlemagne breathed deeply, the cold draft invigorating his senses and calming his racing thoughts. He turned from the window, determination glistening in his eyes like morning dew. Tomorrow loomed vast and untamable, yet he was ready to meet it, armed with the knowledge of past kings and the unwavering belief in his own guiding stars. Amid the silent echoes of the hall, Charlemagne began his journey no longer as merely an heir to a throne, but as a king armored with dreams, ready to forge his legacy in the pages of history. In the pale light of early dawn, a silvery mist threaded its way through the ancient oaks lining the muddy roads of Gaul, casting the landscape in an ethereal haze that blurred the boundaries between earth and sky. It was a world caught in suspension, where time itself seemed to hold its breath in reverence or anticipation. Charlemagne, clad in his travel-worn cloak, felt the dampness seeping through to his skin, a tangible chill that nipped at his resolve and whispered of battles yet to be fought and legacies yet to be forged. Each step through the slippery mire was a deliberate act, as if the ground were testing his mettle, demanding focus and fortitude with every labored stride. The mud clung to his boots like the tendrils of doubt, an incessant reminder of the treacherous paths he must navigate in realms both physical and political. Yet with each squelching footfall, Charlemagne felt a steady commingling of despair and determination, the echoes of his thoughts, resonating with each sodden crunch beneath his feet. The chill in the air pricked at his cheeks, a biting companion to his solitude, one that bade him recall the mingled warmth and rivalry that characterized the years he had shared with Charlemagne. His brother's sudden death had been like the cutting of a tether that left him adrift in a sea of power, where each decision now fell squarely on his shoulders. Beneath the layers of majesty and command lay the raw abrasion of grief, unyielding and relentless like the elements that battered against him. Gazing out over the landscape as morning light slowly illuminated its contours, he perceived more than just the physical terrain of his kingdom. The gently undulating hills and distant forests seemed to embody the continuity of the land, silent witnesses to the rise and fall of empires, the shifting fates of men. Beneath the stoic exterior that his title demanded, Charlemagne's thoughts wandered to the impermanence of alliances and the slumbering potential for betrayal that lurked within every heart, including his own. Yet within this reflection, there was also a burgeoning resolve, a commitment to fashion a legacy from the foundations of lore and legacy that his forebears had bequeathed. The morning sounds the distant trill of a bird. The rustle of unseen creatures stirring in the underbrush created a symphony of renewal, carrying on despite the turmoil within him. It was as if nature herself extended a hand of constancy, whispering assurances of resilience, imparting ancient wisdom through its eternal rhythm. These natural elements were steadfast sentinels that, in their simplicity, anchored him amid the complexities of rule. With the break of day, a palette of muted hues unfurled across the sky, the soft blush of dawn incrementally transmuting into the golden glow of sunlight that promised warmth and clarity. In tandem, Charlemagne felt a quiet yet insistent stir within an awakening to the tasks that lay ahead, and the shape of a future not forged by fate alone, but by the measured force of his will. Thus, Charlemagne stood, a figure enshrined by the wild, timeless beauty that was Gaul, aware that each day he walked his kingdom was a day he built it anew, with every breath drawn beneath the expansive sky, a testament to a dogged and sovereign purpose. The morning sun bathes the verdant landscape in a golden glow, its rays slicing through the lingering mists like a resolute promise. Charlemagne walks slowly, his armored boots pressing sonic impressions into the dew-kissed grasses, creating a muffled symphony that only he can hear in the solitude of dawn. The air is crisp, tinged with the faint aroma of pine and the earthy whisper of the forest beyond, as if the world itself is awakening alongside him, one living entity sharing in the exhilaration and burden of his journey. Every breath is a meditative cadence, a deliberate rhythm anchoring him to the present, yet tethering him to the rich tapestry of his ancestry. He feels the weight of history upon his broad shoulders, a tangible sensation akin to the chainmail draped over his royal garb. His forefathers' legacies whisper through the gentle rustling of the leaves, urging him onward, yet reminding him of the stakes involved in each decision he makes. The convergence of past and future mirrors the duality of his own struggle between the call of ambition and the constraints of duty. As he traverses the rolling hills, a flock of birds takes flight, scattering into the brightening sky with a synchronized grace that speaks of freedom he cannot yet afford. Their ascent is a stark contrast to his inner landscape, roiling with the tumult of responsibility. Invisible battles rage within perennial questions of morality and strategy. Dreams of expansion weighed against the possibility of overreach. The imperial eagle crest emblazoned on his tunic feels at once a symbol of soaring greatness and an ominous reminder of the consequences of failure. Charlemagne halts at the crest of a gentle slope, overlooking the stretches of his burgeoning empire. Fields lie ordered and sprawling as far as the eye can see, punctuated by the distant plumes of smoke from the morning fires in villages just beginning to stir. the scent of burning wood drifts faintly, a humble counterpoint to the grandeur of his ambitions. In this tableau of tranquility and potential, he discerns the faces of his subjects, both known and unknown, looking to him for protection, prosperity, and leadership. An understanding settles upon him, not unlike a cloak offering both warmth and weight. Leadership is a mantle requiring careful negotiation between honor and ambition, a dance that must heed the intricate steps of diplomacy as well as the decisive strides of conquest. He grapples with the resolve to fortify borders and muster armies, while ensuring the sanctity of his realm's culture and harmony of vision that flickers like a gossamer thread in the tapestry of his thoughts. As the day unfurls itself fully, painting the sky in hues of promise, Charlemagne steels his resolve. The sun climbs higher, illuminating the path ahead, one he must tread with prudent courage and meticulous foresight. It is a silent accord with the day to craft a legacy not only built on conquest, but on unity and enlightenment. In this quiet, reflective dawn, he finds a fleeting sense of peace amid tumult, a reminder of the enduring human saga he is both bound to and determined to transcend. Each step forward is not merely a stride into the physical realm of his empire, but an inward journey towards defining the heights of his own humanity. The air is thick with the scent of damp earth and the faint, sharp tang of pine as Charlemagne stands atop the ridge that overlooks the sprawling landscapes of his burgeoning empire. The morning mist clings to the contours of the land like a gossamer veil, lending an ethereal touch to the world, awakening beneath the faint glow of the rising sun. His breath forms small clouds that quickly dissipate in the chill, a fleeting reminder of his own ephemeral presence in the vastness around him. As he gazes out, the vast tapestry of greens and browns stretches endlessly towards the horizon, a woven quilt of forests and fields, stitched together by winding rivers that glint like silver threads. Each element forms an integral part of this land that he is bound to protect and unite. Every detail of the scenery etches itself deeply into his mind, becoming a part of him, much as he is a part of it. The rustle of leaves harmonizes with the distant call of a lone bird, the only witnesses to his moment of deep reflection. Charlemagne draws a slow, deliberate breath, the cold air stinging his lungs, and closes his eyes, allowing the tranquility of the moment to seep into his bones. It is in these rare pockets of solitude that he finds clarity, away from the cacophony of court life and the incessant demands of leadership. A flicker of sunlight, more warmth than illumination, dances upon the eastern clouds, painting them in hues of gold and rose. This dawning day is reminiscent of the dawn of his reign poised on the brink of endless possibilities, yet shadowed by the weight of expectation. He feels the ghosts of history at his side, spectral advisors whose voices are carried on the cool breeze, each telling their tale of ambition and downfall. Their eternal whispers warn and inspire, reminding him of the fine line he must tread between greatness and ruin. Charlemagne's heart, beneath the layers of kingship and armor, beats with an empathic understanding for those he leads. He envisions the serf and soldier, the noble and monk, their fates interwoven with his own in a kingdom that exists more as a living organism than mere territory defined by borders. The echoes of laughter and cries, prayers and proclamations of his subjects fill the silent spaces of his contemplation, creating a symphony of life that fuels his resolve. Despite the heavy cloak of responsibility that drapes around his broad shoulders, Charlemagne stands firm, his feet planted like the ancient oaks that dot his domain, resilient against the storms that history may hurl at him. The mantle of leadership is an onerous gift, yet it invigorates him, compelling him to rise to the challenge. He accepts the unyielding paradox of his role, the unity found within solitude, the strength discovered in moments of quietude. With the sun now cresting the sky, bestowing its blessings across the land, he starts his descent, each step forward imbued with a new, quiet confidence. The journey of Charlemagne, king and solitary traveler, is not merely toward the future he envisions, but through the unwritten chapters of history itself, a path illuminated by the past, yet unwritten by any hand but his own. Charlemagne stood on the gentle rise overlooking the stream, the earth cool and damp beneath his leather-clad feet. Dawn's light was a soft brush of pink and amber across the horizon, casting long, ephemeral shadows that quivered like ghosts among the pre-dawn mist. He could feel the slight chills sneaking through the folds of his thick cloak, a tactile reminder of the earth's rhythms as the seasons slowly turned. The burbling of the brook sang a sweet, lilting melody, clear and unhurried, conveying the timeless passage of water over stone. His sharp blue eyes traced the playful dance of silver ripples, each one a tiny sigh against the banks. As wisps of his breath mingled with the cool air, the serene visuals of flowing water mirrored the flow of his own thoughts, continuous, sometimes winding, but always moving forward. The morning breeze carried the earthy scent of moss and sodden leaves, freshened by the night's dew. As the smell filled his lungs, Charlemagne's broad shoulders rose and fell in a slow, deliberate breath, reminiscent of the rhythmic tides on which his empire was poised to sail into history. Each inhalation renewed not only his physical strength, but his resolve, knitting tight the tapestry of ambition that fueled him. He allowed the breeze to ruffle his thick mane of hair, like a mother's comforting touch reminding him of his human vulnerability amidst his titanic aspirations. Standing there, cloaked in the serenity of dawn, he felt the enormity of his vision settle around him like the weight of his own mantle. The task before him was nothing short of Herculean to forge a new era from the ashes of Roman jurisdiction, a renaissance of order amidst the chaos. He could feel the presence of history's great men behind him, their achievements a whispering chorus urging him on. From Julius Caesar's conquests to the philosophies of Marcus Aurelius, eternally etched in his consciousness. Yet his heart, beneath the surface of regal stoicism, bore doubts that festered in the shadows of solitude. For all the might he wielded and the legions at his command, Charlemagne remained just a man who wrestled with the duality of power and its burdens. Did the responsibility of kingship call for him to be more than human? He sought answers in the quietude, sifting through the sands of his own soul. Nature's serene posture was a necessary counterweight to his own internal tumult, like a cool balm to the heated forge of determination within him. Each leaf, each blade of grass, unassuming witnesses to his solitude, played their silent role in the grand symphony of existence, reminding him of the beauty and simplicity and the unadorned truth that nature's landscapes, like man's aspirations, needed time to grow, to root deeply, before they could flourish. In this moment of reflection, he found solace in the realization that while he stood alone in this vision, he was never truly isolated. Each subject, each friend, and even each foe was intricately woven into the larger human narrative he so desperately desired to shape. As the sun began its ascent, bathing the world in golden light, Charlemagne turned back toward his camp, invigorated. He knew that the choices he made today would ripple through time like the brook's current, even if history remembered him as a solitary figure leading the charge into the pages of legend. He knew that every action was a link in the endless chain that was humanity's story. In the hallowed expanse of St. Peter's Basilica, a chill lingers in the air, despite the throng of bodies and the warmth emitted by hundreds of flickering candles. Dust particles dance in the dim light, catching beams that filter through towering stained glass windows, painting the ancient stone walls with polygons of color. Charlemagne, newly crowned emperor, stands at the heart of this sacred arena. His breath comes in measured, contemplative sighs, as each exhalation causes the golden, jewel-encrusted crown on his head to shift slightly. It is as though he bears the weight of the world, each gem a reminder of the lands he now commands, each glint a testament to countless battles won and alliances forged. The crown presses into his temples, its heft grounding him in this moment surrounded by centuries of legacy. A heady mixture of frankincense and myrrh drifts through the air, merging with the earthy undertones of aged wood and stone, creating an aroma fitting for such a divine setting. The scent is at once comforting and suffocating, a reminder of the sacred powers he must now wield. As the bells toll, their deep, resonant clangs reverberate through the cavernous space. They seem almost alive, each strike a heartbeat of history proclaiming the dawn of a new era. The sound vibrates through his very being, resonating in his bones, and craftsmen's whispers seem to join in, a chorus from the ages inspiring and daunting. Around Charlemagne, the congregation kneels in a sea of muted colors, velvet reds and lush winter greens blending into one another in their solemnity. Nobles, clerics, and dignitaries, all faces turned upwards in reverence, their expressions a mix of awe, solemnity, and reverence are witnesses to this epoch-defining moment. Some eyes, however, betray a glimmer of envy, understanding that power has now been consolidated into the hands of one man. Despite the opulent surroundings, unlikely to have changed since the time of Peter himself, Charlemagne's mind drifts inward, navigating the landscape of his past. The gurgling brooks of his youth in the Frankish lands, the harsh cries of soldiers under his command, the scent of battle clinging to him like a shadow. Each memory a lesson carved into his consciousness, shaping the ruler he has become. He wonders, in a moment of introspection, whether these memories are sufficient backdrops to the grand canvas unfurling before him. Within the depths of his consciousness lies an awareness that in the splendor of this moment, amid the whispered echoes of saints and sinners of old, true leadership is a solitude. It is a heavy silence between one heartbeat and the next. It is the duty to discern and decide, weighing the miraculous with the mundane. It is an isolation etched into the mind, where new empires are dreamed into existence in quiet, candle-lit chambers under watchful eyes of painted saints. With each silent vow made within, Charlemagne feels the fabric of his new role tighten around him like invisible chains that mark the bounds of sovereignty. The arching ceilings, seemingly holding up the very heavens, are both liberating and imprisoning, though they inspire him with the divine depth of his new obligations. As the ceremony reaches its crescendo, he closes his eyes, accepting the intertwined wonders and burdens, and surrenders to the symphony of empire, a new chapter waiting to unfold in the annals of history. The cold December air clings to the ancient stone walls of St. Peter's Basilica, mingling with the sharp, earthy scent of incense that spirals upward in languid curls through the nave. The pews creak under the weight of the gathered dignitaries, their whispered conversations a hushed susurration beneath the grand arches. A heavy silence blankets the hall, profound and contemplative, as if the foundation of the world itself steadies, holding its breath for the ceremony that will alter the destiny of a continent. Golden candlelight dances over rough-hewn stone, illuminating intricately woven tapestries that speak silently of battles fought and alliances forged. Above, in the lofty heights, the play of light and shadow is as much anointed as it is relentless. Each flicker holds the potential for both revelation and obfuscation, a silent dialogue between the past and the promise that lies glittering but elusive in the future. Charlemagne stands at the heart of this sanctuary, a titan poised at the threshold of greatness. His robes, resplendent with gold embroidery and shimmering gems, do little to obscure the internal tempest raging beneath his composed exterior. The fabric of his thoughts is woven with threads of ambition, duty, and an unyielding vision for a unified Christendom. Yet, within the depths of his resolve lies the humble recognition of the burdens that accompany his divine anointment. He casts his gaze forward, where the light of 1,000 candles merges into a singular brilliance around the altar. The air is thick with the ancient Latin chants that resonate with a timeless rhythm, pulling the congregation into a collective pulse, connecting the fleeting present to the eternal. Pope Leo Roman III, adorned in robes of richest crimson and gold, stands like a beacon, a direct conduit to the Holy Father, invoking divine favor upon this human moment of ascension. As the crown, a gleaming circlet of empire, is raised, Charlemagne feels the weight of history pressing down. The metal is cold against his skin, but gradually warms, becoming almost an extension of his own being. In this moment, the halls of his memory open, revealing specters of battles past, adversaries vanquished, and territories claimed. Each victory is shadowed by the faces of those who fell a somber testament to the price of his relentless march towards this pinnacle. A distant echo of his childhood whispers through the corridors of his mind, a young boy, sitting on his father's knee, learning of their lineage, of valor and glory hard won. His father's words were a prophecy and a burden, one he now feels settling irrevocably upon his shoulders. The echoes fade into the present, filling him with a profound clarity, a determination girded with an understanding of its cost. The ceremony concludes with an ethereal blessing, the echoes of Vivat Imperator reverberating through the vastness of the basilica, a declaration resonating with both hope and inevitability. Outside, a new dawn breaks over the city of Rome, bathing the ancient stones in a golden hue, as if mirroring the coronation within. It is a moment hanging in time, a tapestry woven with strands of courage, uncertainty, and the resolve to shape the world anew. Charlemagne steps forward, not just as a king, but as an emperor, the weight of his new realm balanced precariously in his heart and mind, as the winds of history stir around him. As the last tendrils of incense smoke curled lazily upward, dissipating into the high archways of the basilica, Charlemagne inhaled deeply, letting the fading fragrance transport him to a place of tranquil introspection. The scent was a familiar companion during many of his meditative evenings, each wisp whispering stories of ancient times and divine mysteries, and tonight was no different. The silence that followed, punctuated only by the soft shuffling of a passing monk or the distant toll of a bell, enveloped him in a comforting embrace, echoing the simple yet profound stability he sought amidst the grandeur of his reign. The flickering candlelight cast shadows that danced across the intricate mosaic floors and the towering columns of the basilica, creating an otherworldly ambience that was both imposing and inviting. Each glint and gloom seemed to breathe with the life of the stories etched into the history around him. Charlemagne's gaze lifted to the frescoes that adorned the ceiling, depicting scenes of saints and martyrs, their eyes seeming to peer into the depths of his soul, urging him to ponder his place in the divine plan. These celestial faces, painted with devotion and craft, bore witness to the ebb and flow of his conquests and contemplations. Amidst the quietude, his heart vibrated with a cacophony of thoughts, a paradox of external power and internal solitude. As an emperor revered by many yet truly known by few, he often felt the isolation that accompanies great leadership. It's a solitude that whispers truths in the quiet hours before dawn, or in the stillness of a sacred space such as this. The weight of the crown was paradoxical, both a symbol of his supreme authority and an invisible chain binding him to the relentless march of duty. Yet, within this solitude, Charlemagne discovered clarity, a grounding sense of purpose. The silence of the basilica became a canvas upon which his mind painted visions of unity, a Europe cohesive in faith and culture, transcending petty feuds and conflicts. His leadership was not only for the present glory, but also for a future he envisioned filled with peace and prosperity, a legacy that would extend far beyond his own life. In the silence, he pondered the shared tapestry of human experience, a weave of past, present, and future. He thought of his ancestors, warriors and rulers who had fought and fashioned the very world he now commanded. He reflected on his lineage, the bloodlines and battles that had shaped him, and the aspirations he held for those who would follow. It was a connection felt deeply within the core of his being, one that tethered him firmly to the earth even as his ambitions reached toward the heavens. Outside, the moon began its ascent over the horizon, its silver light filtering through the stained glass, painting ethereal patterns upon the stone floor. Charlemagne closed his eyes for a moment, allowing the majesty of the night to seep into his soul, grounding him against the pull of uncertainty. In that solemn stillness, with the echoes of the ancient past surrounding him, the emperor found peace, a brief respite, a precious moment where the weight of the world felt just a little lighter, wrapped in the profound beauty of human existence and the eternal echoes of history that would guide him into the future.